many of the budget keyboards with numpads have kind of been lacking in the sound department, but after seeing many of the reviews of this QK100, it's starting to look like this one is gonna break the mold. So over the next week, I'm gonna build this keyboard in 3 different ways. Fully packed with foams, a nice clacky build similar to the boards that I love to use, and attempt at like a silent sleeper office build. I guess we also need to figure out what the hell we're gonna do with this color if we're gonna do this office build, because no one's going into an office with a bright green keyboard. Anyway, let's build this thing. The build process itself was actually not too bad. There is, same as the QK100, it's just screws on the bottom and then the whole thing comes apart, which is incredible because if you want to tinker with it, it just removes a few moving pieces. But the LCD screen adds an extra layer of complexity to the whole thing by introducing that ribbon cable, which I was struggling with last night. And after getting it plugged in properly, it doesn't work, at least my prototype version. The backlight turns on and then nothing else happens. And if you try to put anything on the screen, it would take like literally a few minutes. On top of that, I have built mine as a split backspace because I'm just used to that. And I can't remap the keys. Not off to a great start, I can't lie. But they are just software changes. I have messaged QwertyKeys about it. I'm just waiting to hear back and see what has to happen. So it's not all negative. I really wanted to take a look at the keycaps in detail here because what QwertyKeys have done since their QK75, if I am not mistaken, is they've decided to develop their own keycaps. The 75 and 80 were from the same mold, but this QK100 set is actually from a different, more updated mold, I'm told. And I think they've done actually a really good job. Like the quality of the keycaps are really nice. They're made out of ABS. They are famously used in GMK's keycaps. And they have a much nicer like resonant sound, I find. And we've got a few examples here. I've picked these 3 because GMK, obviously the gold standard. QwertyKeys is the only other brand that I know of that has decided to develop their own molds and actually use a different typeface. For some reason, everyone wants to go for this like rounded Helvetica font that GMK use. And I don't know, if you're gonna develop your own molds anyway, why don't you try a different typeface that looks nice? I don't know. But yeah, QwertyKeys keycaps actually come very close to the legend quality of GMK. So I'm actually like insanely surprised. If we look at the bottom of the keycaps though, you can see that GMK still has that hatched pattern that only a few other keycap manufacturers have. If we're getting really nitpicky here, I think that's why GMK still have that really nice resonant sound, even though QwertyKeys are also using the same material. So today's a new day. My keyboard is still kind of unusable at the moment. I can't remap the keys and that means I can't use backspace, but while QwertyKeys is still working on that, I figured we could do a little something about the color of this keyboard.
There it is.
If I spray paint the keyboard with Plasti Dip, I should be able to just peel the whole thing off when I get bored of the color, right? What I've done is I have just taken out all of the parts that I'm not gonna paint. I've also masked over all the contact points of the top. The hope here is I am not going to interfere with the tolerances of the top and bottom case because Plasti Dip is really thick. It's like spraying on vinyl. It's incredibly windy today, so I'm kind of worried about that. What I'm worried about the most is if the tolerances aren't going to allow it to fit together and I'm gonna have to do some really weird trimming the Plasti Dip off. And that's when I think mistakes can really happen, but I guess we'll just have to find out. The plan is I'm going to follow the instructions on the can. I'm going to spray on an even coat, wait 30 minutes, do the next coat, wait 30 minutes, do the next coat, and I'm gonna do 4 coats total. After the 4th coat, I'm gonna let it cure for 4 hours. That whole painting process took 2 days. I have let the paint rest. I don't know if that's a word. Set. I don't know. And it's actually turned out really nice. Some of the spots were a little bit splotchy. That's my bad. I guess the test is it gonna fit together easily? All right. Yeah. I'm gonna set up the overhead shot and yeah. Okay. Oh my god. All right, so it's been a couple days of use. I've done a lot of troubleshooting with the keyboard. QwertyKeys have really helped me out, and most of the issues that I've had are completely resolved now. They actually ended up sending me a production PCB and it's working perfectly fine. So thank you very much to QwertyKeys for that. I actually have been doing a lot of tinkering, trying out different keycaps and switches, but I keep just landing back on the old GMK and Cherry MX Black combo. An issue I thought I was gonna have though is that I thought it was gonna be too big for me. I'm really used to 65%, 60% TKLs at the largest, and I was worried that, you know, all these extra buttons on the right I was gonna run into issues on the desk. I thought, you know, but if you actually compare it to any other TKL, it's really not that much bigger. So props to QwertyKeys for going with this layout. That being said though, I have found myself like smashing my mouse into the side of the keyboard. But the main reason why I wanted to paint this black is because I wanted it to fit into like an office situation. And obviously right now it's just way too loud, but I do have a solution for this. These are silent switches, silent tactile switches by Wuche Studios. Thank you very much to my friends at Keys and Cables for sending this through. I have never ever tried silent tactile switches, just silent switches in general. So very curious to see how this feels in the keyboard. Ready? Oh yeah, way quiet. What? So after 5 days, this keyboard has held up insanely well. It's easily the most versatile keyboard in terms of sound out of like the entire QwertyKeys line. The Plasti Dip has actually held up well. Feel is quite grippy. It's like rubbery almost because it is a rubber coating. Just take note of that. It does pick up some dust. But you know, if you wanted a black keyboard, just buy a black one. But yeah, you have a few more days to grab this. If you want some silent switches, I have a discount code actually for you guys from Keys and Cables. So if you want to check those out, please do. I'll leave some links in the description. But yeah, really keen to see what QwertyKeys can do next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.